So if you take a look at the clothing you're wearing right now, there's a pretty good chance that it's made from polyester, which is an organic compound that we've decided to research. Polyester is the most popular synthetic fabric in the world, and it's used in many forms of clothing. The chemical structure is made from the chemical reaction of condensation, as the OH and the H combine from the acid and the alcohol to make water, resulting in this chemical structure above here. So some advantages of polyester include that it's very easy to produce, as it's much easier to manipulate than other natural fibers, and it's also easy for the consumer to maintain, as it's easy to wash and dry. It's also quite cheap to produce because of its effectiveness in the manufacturing process. It's also very durable and resists wrinkles, shrinking, and fading, as well as staining. It's also hydrophobic, meaning it repels water and makes it quite popular for athletic apparel and outdoor jackets. And it has some industrial applications, as it's a thermoplastic that can be heated and cooled into many shapes and can be used for safety belts and LCD screens. The main disadvantage of polyester is its lack of environmentally friendliness, as it creates pollution and uses a lot of water and energy to be created. In addition, it's made from petroleum, which means it's not biodegradable. Kate's going to talk more about that later. In addition, it can give off microfibers, which end up in the environment and waterways and can be ingested by marine animals and eventually humans. It's also not 100% indestructible and can result in some pilling, and running. It's also not very breathable, as it's hydrophobic and retains moisture, meaning it can trap sweat and smell. And also there's some more environmentally friendly alternatives, such as Bionic EcoCircle and Primaloft, which are all companies that are trying to keep polyester and plastic out of the ocean by using environmentally friendly alternatives to polyester. One of the effects of polyester on human health are the harmful chemicals that humans can indirectly be harmed by, as they are released during the manufacturing process of polyester. Some examples are antimony trioxide and formaldehyde, which are also known carcinogens. There's also a concern over the ingestion of microplastics that comes from the shedding of polyester clothes. Polyester can also affect the immune system, as it traps moisture and bacteria, which can lead to irritation and infection, and some people are allergic to polyester, which makes the irritation worse and can affect their skin.
Let's dive deeper into the environmental impact of polyester. It is harmful at every step of the supply chain. Firstly, countless barrels of oil are required to create polyester, which is derived from petroleum. Producing polyester is a high-impact process because it requires lots of energy and water. To generate energy, fossil fuels are combusted, releasing carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases. When polyester clothing is washed, it can shed fibers that enter waterways as microplastics. Aquatic animals ingest the microplastics, concentrating toxins up the food chain and passing them into the wider environment, including human food chains. Finally, polyester is unable to biodegrade, so it stays in landfills for decades. As polyester breaks down, it releases methane and can disrupt the soil's microbial community. The affordability of polyester greatly contributes to the rise of fast fashion, which creates a cycle of overconsumption and waste. Less than 1% of collected textiles are recycled back into textile use due to an absence of global infrastructure. Currently, it is not possible to commercially separate polycotton blends and recycle the constituent fibers. As a result, they are instead downcycled for use in insulation and furniture stuffing. Luckily, there's a more sustainable alternative to virgin polyester, recycled polyester, or rPET. rPET generates 79% less carbon emissions and lowers landfill waste. To create rPET, manufacturers collect millions of pounds of used plastic from single-use water bottles, which are then washed, melted, and formed into pellets. These pellets are mechanically or chemically transformed into fibers. China is the top producer of polyester and rPET, taking up around 69% of the market in 2017. In the 1930s, DuPont employee Carruthers mixed alcohol with carboxyl acid to create synthetic fibers. This structure was unstable, so the project lay abandoned. But in 1941, British chemists Birtwistle and Ritchie created the first polyester fiber, called terylene, through a chemical reaction of petroleum, water, and air. DuPont purchased the rights to polyester in 1946 and sold it as a miracle fabric that didn't wrinkle. They advertised that it could be worn for 68 days straight without ironing or care and still look fresh. This appealed to women who were the primary homemakers at that time. Now, every day as you get dressed in the morning, you can be reminded of polymers and chemistry. You're welcome. Thanks for listening.